as a filmmaker, always try to make a film to make them proud. So I must say that I'm so proud of Red Cliff. The new movie I just made. One of the main reasons I wanted to go back to China to make this film because since I've been working in Hollywood for so many years and I have learned so much from all kind of people, uh, and I'm grateful as well. And then about 5 years ago, I uh, I think that it's about time uh, to make a film in China, the the country I really love and the film people I really admire. I really like to work with the people in China. So and then I've been work and live in United States for over 16 years. Uh, the people are very nice. They gave me a lot of great respect, and I have a lot of good opportunity to work in Hollywood. And I have met a lot of very interesting and talented people. Uh, I think everything was so fine. It's just but in the meantime, I had just find out, uh, uh, the people in the Western world, they were so familiar with our martial arts film. Quite a lot of people they have seen uh, quite a few of the artistic film. But in general, I think that they still didn't know much about our culture and spirit. So that's why they made me want to make another Chinese movie. This movie really could show the true spirit and the and our culture. So for Red Cliff, I've been dreaming to make this movie for over 20 years. As it had a great story, it had a great character, and the film has a fusion of many elements. The history, romance, chivalry idea, and the spirit of heroes that I truly admired. When I was studying film, when I was young, I was so much fond of, famous epic, like Ben Hur, Lawrence of Arabia, Seven Samurai, etc., etc. Even 2001 Space Odyssey, that kind of film. So at that time, I was always dreaming, can I make a movie like that? Can if I can if I could make a movie like that, that will be, the most wonderful thing in my life. So and then because I have so much admire of David Lin, Akira Kurosawa, and Stanley Kubrick. So that and all those other great master. I mean, and then but at that time. I think to make that kind of film seems to be impossible. So, I mean, to make this kind of film was one of my biggest dreams. And I'm so glad I can have the opportunity to make this same kind of movie. And it's make my life so much meaning. So. Another Another reason I wanted to make this film because about 5 years ago, when I was shooting a short film in China, and I met a group of young filmmakers, and I found all these young people here. they have great passion about movie, and they also have great knowledge about filmmaking. And so, but in the meantime, they all want to learn more. That they are very hungry. They are hungry about film. They are hungry about the they are hungry to work in a big film. So because they all wanted to learn some new experience. So, and then I stand, and I love them. I really wanted to do some help. So I think this is a great opportunity to make a movie like Red Cliff. To let everybody can learn some new experience and a new experience from Hollywood. I think this is very good for them. To make such a big scale movie in China, it has some difficulty for the start. But after we worked together for a few months, and then after we understood each other for a while, and there was no problem. They were saying in China, there's nothing impossible in China. We could do anything, because but the people in China, they're willing to die for the movie. They're willing to die for work for you. So and then they always like to try something new, and they all love challenges. And I've been working with a great young people. They love films and they are very smart and they work very hard and they can work 14 to 18 hours a day with no complaint. So that made me feel good. This is I at the beginning I tried to make this film in a Hollywood way. I mean, we were trying to use some kind of Hollywood system, but the people didn't get used to it. They rather like to work in their own way. Like for example, and we have a lot of horse scenes, like the big cavalry, and we have a lot of big horse stunt. Like this which is the guy being shot with the arrow and then fell off the horse, and then and the horses fell with them. It's kind of exciting moment. But in China, all the horses and the horsemen, they wasn't trained by film, and they have never learned those kind of action, but they have no afraid. And then we just need to spend a little more time and money, and give them time to learn. And then we just let them know what we really need and what kind of stunt what we want to do, and then they work very hard and they spend hours, days, rehearsing and practicing, and how to do the big fall and fall with the horses, and they did it, in China. So we only can get about 20 or 30, good horse, and the rest of the horses they all work in the farm, or work for the tourists. But the smart horsemen, they could make the farmer horse work like a war horse. That's so incredible. And they have done so many crazy and dangerous and incredible stunt, all by himself, and so incredibly that none of the horses get hurt, and none of the riders get any injured, and they did all those actions so beautifully. So that's what And then for the camera crew, like they have news. They have never used like a big crane or they have that kind of luxury to use some fancy new equipment. But in this film, I just let them use whatever they want, and then they just sit there, whenever they can touch the machine, and they just and then they know how to use it. And by the meantime, as you know, they also have a lot of great stuntmen in this country. We have some big, very very big scene. We have a 2,000 boats being burned. And then there's a lot of crash burning scene, and then they all have helped me to make it happen. I really love them, and by the meantime, the people are so humble. Since we have collaborated with the CG visual effect crew from the United States, and some special effect on set from Korea, and we also some people from Japan, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and work with the Chinese crew, So they have to work together so well, and the Chinese young people, they learn everything from everybody, and they, even sometimes they don't, they didn't ask much. They just watch and listen, and then they can do on. The theme of the movie is about friendship, bravery, and love. Even though this famous story happened it's about 2,000 years ago, I think, all of the elements in the film was pretty much met the world nowadays. I think whenever I'm making a film, I always like to know what are the people they're thinking nowadays. What do they feel about everything? Now, as everybody knows, and knows we had the economic crisis, and a lot of it. It happens all over the world, and there's a lot of depression and a lot of disappointment, and especially it got so much impact for the young people. I think the people nowadays they need the courage. They need somebody to encourage them. I think this is what the Red Cliff about. It's about you got enough courage to facing all kind of challenge and solve the problem with the others. If you want to win the war, you got to be united. My trademark, so I always like to use the pigeon. So even though this is Asian story, and a movie with no guns, but I still like to use the pigeon. I guess, and I always like to, keep my trademark, because one of the reasons I use the pigeon again is it had a message. It's about peace. It's very simple. I think you and I also have the same kind of a message. We really don't want any kind of war. War is really not good for everyone. All we need is peace. I'm so proud. I'm so proud to work in China. For the future, I wish to bring more production into China as well. Because it has so much great landscape, and the people are so lovely, and there's so many stories. So many stories you need to tell. So in the future years, I will put my focus. In the future years, I'm focusing to make more Chinese film. Of course, it doesn't mean. Of course, it doesn't mean I'll abandon Hollywood, right? I still enjoy working in Hollywood, and I also wanted to make a film in Europe or any other country, because it's so nice to work in a different country, different places, and learn from different kind of culture. Well, at last, I'd like to thank everyone for giving me such a great support and friendship, for so many years. I'm so proud of Redcliffe, and I hope you can enjoy it as I enjoyed making it. So, all the best wishes.